What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Giganato Gaming here, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Jurassic World Evolution 2. We are here in the brand new albino, all-albino creature park, where we're going to expand upon it. Like, we've got our white Giganotosaurs here. One of them I've named Skeletor, because I think that's just the perfect name for this guy, in my opinion. I might even make an OC out of him. We got our Baryonyxes, the alpha we've named Rudy, and another we've named Leucistic, after the Baryonyx from Chaos Theory, I believe it is. And then for the Atrociraptors, we've got Ghost and all white Atrociraptors. I made sure Ghost was the leader of the Atrociraptors so we could have them. And we also got a bunch of herbivores here as well. But yeah, our park isn't finished yet. We're going to add in a couple more creatures in today's video. I want to make this into a relatively big park. But yeah, with that, if you find yourself enjoying this video and want more content like this, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. And let's see if we can get this channel to 1,500 subscribers. That would be really great. But with that, let's continue. So I'm going to build a path here. Maybe get a hotel over here or something, so we don't have to deal with as many crowds, because we are dealing with crowding issues. There we go. So then people at least have places to stay and whatever. But yeah, we're going to expand over here, and we're going to see what other creatures. I'd like to get a gyrosphere tour, maybe get some invisible fences for this, or maybe block this off so then you don't see unless you go into the enclosure itself. There we go, that should be good. And they have a built-in forest right over here, so we don't have to worry about forests that much. And we're gonna put a bunch of herbivores in here, whatever has that albino feel. We could have some sauropods in here, maybe some ceratopsians or stegosaurs, depending on what ends up happening here. So yeah, we'll worry about the food in a minute. Right now, let's get this done. What we could do is get the gyrosphere and then maybe add like some Sinosauropteryx, because I know for a fact that they have albino. They shouldn't bother the herbivores. So as long as they have food and meat, they shouldn't bother the herbivores. So let's get the gyrosphere going. So this will be a relatively large area for them. And then we could put in path connecting to here. Boom. There we go. And then, of course, we'll put in some viewing galleries or viewing domes as well. We'll put one here, and we'll put one on the other side. And, I don't know, maybe we could put in a viewing log in the middle? We're going to put, like, a bunch of herbivores and maybe Sinosauropteryx. That's what I'm thinking. Or we could put Sinosauropteryx in a separate enclosure since they're relatively small. Maybe it might be better. I don't know. And don't worry, we'll get transport in here at some point. What the hell do you mean too close to Rudy? There we go. You know what I might do for Main Street? Maybe we could upgrade the path. Alright, so we don't have to deal with, like, crowding issues and whatever. This way here, more people can get in the park. There we go. Alright, cool. Alright, now that that's done, let's see what we can work with these guys. Does Alamosaurus have They have Keelan Mountains. I mean, we could put in Brachiosaurus and, or what about Apatosaurus? Do you guys have... Yeah, you do. Okay. We could look at them at some point. Save and exit. Alright, I'm trying to think. What about Brachiosaurus? Do you have one? Let's try the default variant for a minute. They do. What about you? The Jurassic Park 3 ones do, though I prefer these more. Alright, we got that. Save and exit. What about Camarasaurus? Do they have one? Yes, they do. Okay, so we can have these two if we wanted to. You know, let's get Brachiosaurus, maybe. Because these are the only two sauropods that can actually get on with each other. Camarasaurus and Brachiosaurus. So we'll throw them in. And then let's experiment with other herbivores. Maybe we could have... What about Parasaurolophus? Do they have, like, a uniqueness to them? Parasaurolophus. Where's Parasaurolophus? There they are. Do they have, like, a white skin? Okay, they have a couple. We'll try this. Give that a chance. Gallimimus, I'm sure they have one as well. There we go. And then one more herbivore. What about Iguanodon? Do the Dominion ones? Alright, do the Evolution ones? They do. What about Dominion? You know, I'll go for the Dominion Iguanodons, because they just look better than the Evolution Iguanodons, in my opinion. Alright, let's get the two Brachies in here. And if they don't fit, if they're not, like, completely white, then we'll, like, get rid of them. Alright, we've got the ACU unit, just in case we don't get any. Alright, let's take a look at the Gallimimuses first and see what they're all about. Okay, you know what? That's good. They were just in the shade. That's why I didn't have anything there. Alright, they want some ground leaf. I can give them some ground leaf, no problem. I should probably start filling this up with vegetation. Alright, they got their ground leaf, and maybe some ground leaf over here, just in case they need it. There we go. Alright, and then the sauropods, what do they need? Tall nut, which comes with the ting. And then tall leaf. The ting, which comes with the ground nut. Alright, they need some tall leaf. Maybe we could have some tall leaf over here as well. There we go. Just so we have some good vegetation going. Alright, let's release the parasaurs next. Let's take a look at them. Those look white enough. We're getting really lucky here. Like, I'd like to add a bunch of herbivores in here. I want to make sure they have, like, everything they need. I don't know. I don't know about that. You know what? Let's try the other white parasaurs and see which ones I like more. Alright, let's get Parasaurolophus. Again, where's Parasaurolophus? There you are. Let's try... Alright, we had the Svalbard before. Let's try the Keelan Mountains. We'll try Keelan Mountains, see what they're all about. Alright, and while they hatch, let's release the Iguanodons. That's good enough. I like that. I like that. So the Iguanodons are being released. There we go. Yep. That's what an albino dinosaur should look like. Alright, let's take a look at the other parasaurs, see how they look. Oh no, the other ones look better. I think the other ones look more white. But due to the shading, I don't know. Let me see how they look in the sun. How these parasaurs look in the sun. Oh yeah, that won't do at all. These look better. These look better. Yeah, that won't do at all. Okay, where's the ACU center? There it is. I need you to capture those 6 parasaurs that were just recently released. Those look good. The Brachies look good. They will fit. Definitely. Alright, I'll wait till you're done tranquilizing them all. So then we can get through with this. And then I'll add in a couple more herbivores I'm thinking about. Alright, and the Camarasaurs are a definite. They are definitely a definite. And I'll probably make another enclosure that's like Ankylosaurus, Stegosaurus. I'm thinking about putting Stegosaurus in here and then put Ankylosaurus and Triceratops in a separate enclosure. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe we should put Sinosauropteryx in a smaller enclosure. That way they're easier to see. You know what? That's good enough. The Camarasaurs look good. Let's add in one more herbivore, or a couple more herbivores. Does Corythosaurus have an albino skin? Let's find out. They do. Alright. We'll try Yukon River and see how that looks. There we go. And I also want to add in maybe Stegosaurus. Or some Stegosaur of some sort. Alright, we're going to take a look at both Stegosaurs. Does the default variant have one? No, they do not. Does the Lost World variant have one? Yes, they do. We'll use the Lost World Stegos for this. Alright, we'll put Corythosaurus and Stegosaurus in here. All 6 of them. Alright, what do they need? Ground fiber. We'll have to throw that in. And what do these guys need? Ground fiber and ground fruit. Alright, ground fruit is provided. We just need some ground fiber. Alright. Let's release the Corythosaurs and see how they look. I'd have to get a look at them in the sunlight. Because it's always in a bad spot. Why do they always have to be in the shade? I'm not sure how I feel about those. You know what? I'll keep them here for now. And if you want me to keep them there, I'll keep them there. If not, then we'll get rid of them. Okay, I think the Stegos are. Yes. Alright, I think the Stegos are in the question. And don't worry, I probably will add an aquatic section as well as a pterosaur section at some point. On second thought... I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about these last two. These look more tan than white. And these look more gray. Alright, I'll leave that up to you guys. If you want me to keep the Stegos or the Corythosaurs in there, then I'll keep them. If not, whatever. Alright. Alright, I think this is that enclosure done. Let's move on to maybe a carnivore. Let's get, like, Sinosauropteryx and then maybe a medium-sized carnivore. And then maybe next episode we'll work on the aviary and maybe the lagoon. We'll see what has white variants and what doesn't. Alright, Sinosauropteryx. I know for a fact these guys have a white color. Sinosauropteryx should be relatively quick. Yeah, and like I said, these guys are relatively small. I don't even think they need that big of a water hole, to be honest with you. Make that a little smaller, maybe. There we go, that's good. That's good enough for them. Alright. Sinosauropteryx. Let's release all 8 of them. And then we can work on getting another larger carnivore enclosure done. Maybe we'll get Uterenus, because I know for a fact that those guys have like a white color to them. And that'll be the last creature for today. We'll put them here. And then this here. There we go. And then I'll add the amenities off camera. And then we'll get like 2 more feeders. We'll get like maybe a goat feeder in the middle. We'll put 2 of these feeders here. There we go. Alright, that's good. That's good. They've got all the water they need. Let's release the Sinosauropteryxes. Alright, again, I'm going to need them in the sunlight so I can get a good look at their color scheme. These guys are really cute, though, real talk. That's good enough. That's good enough for me. Alright, let's get the Uterenuses going. Alright, Uterenus. Let's go. That'll be the last creature for today. Let's see if they have any. Okay, they already got the Yukon River. I could try Yukon River Pultrana. Or I could just stick to the blank pattern for now. So Sinosauropteryx, they have a little bit of forest here. We could add in another, what's it called, viewing gallery over here, so you can get a good view of them from over here. Make it a little more convenient for our guests. Alright, let's hatch up the Uterenuses and see what they're all about. So we got the blank pattern for them. You know what? The Stegos are growing on me. What about the Corythos? I think I might keep the Stegos. What about the Corythosaurs? That looks more green than white. Do you guys think that? Or is that just me? I don't know. Alright, let's release the Uterenuses. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good on the Uterenuses. Yeah, Frontier knew what they were doing when creating these guys. Alright, we got our Uterenuses done. And if you guys have any name suggestions for any of our species, let me know in the comments down below. And speaking of which, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.